Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Justice Reviews, where we like to break down our favorite superhero shows and, discuss what we like and certain things that we don't like. Each episode, we're going to give you at least 3 shows that we'll cover, and trust me, we have plenty more in the pipeline. Right now, we're about to feature Batwoman. The CW has just released Batwoman for the start of October, and let's just say it's been some mixed reviews out there, but we're going to give it to you straight. We're going to cut straight to the cheddar. Tell us how you feel.
I'm going first. Ain't nothing mixed about my reviews. This was a goddamn dumpster fire.
Now, to piggyback off what he's saying, there was a lot I was expecting out of this show, and seeing her in the crossover show Ruby Rose, that's what I'm talking about. I had a little hope for her because if anybody knows Ruby Rose, she has the combat experience. She can actually meet the physical demands. And I see what they were going for. They were trying to go for like a Stephen Amell version of Arrow and try to do or pull her into the same verse as Batwoman. But unfortunately, it tripped and fell on his ass.
So that's funny that you bring up Arrow, because I think this show takes the worst qualities of Arrow and maximizes them.
And I'm gonna take it a bit further. I feel like this show almost wants to be Gotham, but it can't be Gotham. And so it's somewhere between Gotham and Arrow, and it just, like you said, fell straight on his ass.
It's really nebulous of what it is, but go ahead.
So my take going into this, because here's the thing. I know a lot about the character and the background that they're going for. I know a lot about the controversy that was surrounding it going into this show. She was catching that Captain Marvel flag. And just like Captain Marvel, even though I didn't like what I was seeing from commercials and trailers and stuff, just like with Captain Marvel, I went into this
with an
open mind. Where they fuck up for me, one of the first things they say, and this is a CW problem. The character is already named Batwoman. So there's going to be parallels to Batman. And one of the first lines you get in the beginning of the show is, "You're the female Bruce Wayne." And
it was very jarring coming from her father.
Yeah, that's what kind of killed. That's one nail in the coffin to me for the series.
Here's the thing. So you bring up her father. I have to bring this up too. So I realize that representation matters and everything, and that, different people have to be able to see themselves in these fictional icons and everything like that. But my thing is, if you're gonna just be, so I want to say lazy about it, then don't bother, because everything about what I saw in this show reeks of lazy cliches. Does every male in this show have to either does every male in the show have to either be incompetent or antagonistic to her?
So here was my thing about Luke Fox specifically, because I disagree with you on the thing that every male was incompetent or bad to her. I kind of feel like she projected that on a lot of those characters, because most of the males she had major interactions with, she was aggressive to them first. Luke Fox is a prime example. And as a black male viewer, the only person on that show that looks like me, you told me out the gate with all your interactions between her and him that I shouldn't watch this show. The first interaction, she breaks into Wayne Manor. Mm-hmm. And yes, we know that she's Bruce Wayne's cousin, but he doesn't. And he rightfully arrests her because he was told to look after the manor. That's his job. And she assaults him and breaks and enters and steals information and shit. The second interaction, the first thing she does is assault him outright. No hello, nothing. She physically assaults him. So right then I'm like, and he doesn't do anything in response to both of these. He kowtows every time.
Yep.
And then the third interaction, she tells him, "You're gonna make me a bat suit so I can go out and be Batwoman or whatever."
He caves in and does it.
Yeah, and which is weird to me because she has no authority. So it's like, why would he even agree to do that other than to further the plot of the story?
Well, there's a bunch of issues with the shows, and yes, the fact that the moment you shoehorned her in with Bruce Wayne, you killed her. Like I said, I love the opening when they describe her background. You see her training, so they've already established that she can fight. But where that breaks down is the actual fight choreography itself. For this to be the pilot, you want to bring us in. Mm-hmm. And this was the most lackluster fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. Like at one point, she had fought two people, and ended up getting her ass whipped by the third. And then her final showdown with Alice, that was a throwaway fight in itself.
I want to speak to both of those. Her fight with the henchman, yeah, I expect it to be a little sluggish, little bare. I didn't like the choreography per se, but I was expecting her to lose that fight.
I just think if you were military,
this is her first outing as a vigilante per se.
But I just think if you're military trained, Alice shouldn't be beating your ass like that.
And that was my second issue. The fight with Alice was terrible. That was terrible.
And come on, who all caught the sister thing halfway through the show?
I didn't even care.
I tried to care, and it caught me off guard because the entire episode they made it seem like both her mom and her sister died.
The fact that they lingered on that point so long, I was like, okay, that's her sister.
Well,
now.
they could.
They brought it up 4 or 5 times through the pilot. And here's another issue that I have with it. Luke Fox was one of the biggest letdowns that I saw. Because,
that speaks to how they portray men in this series. It's like you can do your show that represents this specific type of person, but you don't have to denigrate or degrade everybody else that you have to interact with in this show.
if we're all familiar with Luke Fox, we all know that he eventually becomes Batwing. And we also know
rumor is in 2021 he's gonna be Batman.
Yeah, so we already know that he comes with combat experience. But the Luke Fox that we get introduced is pretty much...
You can't convince me that guy's head of security.
Not at all. And you're telling me Batman, who has protocols for everything, left his Batcave accessible for a button?
So you know what my problem is with that, and why I bring up the worst qualities of Arrow. He's just Mr. Terrific.
That's what I was
Exactly.
gonna say. He's
Exactly.
literally
Same hair and everything.
He's Mr. Terrific.
So like, and I realize, brother, you need a job, but for real, like seriously.
And you expect me to believe in this universe? Okay, I get Batman is gone for whatever reason, but Alfred is gone too, and Lucius Fox is gone.
And where's Robin?
And where's Dick? Yeah, where's Dick Grayson?
Let's talk.
Shut up! Don't talk
And
about.
did anybody here mention of Gotham PD at all?
No, because they want to play up the crew.
They mentioned the police at one point. Well,
Did
because
they?
Luke was like, "I'm calling the police."
But they never mentioned. but they never mentioned GPD.
No Gordon, no Montoya,
Here's the
which
thing.
is weird.
I feel like I said, it's somewhere stuck in between Gotham and Arrow. It's almost like they can't say Gotham.
Do you
references from the TV show?
Do you want to know what I really think the problem is? They picked off the Batman and Gotham carcass so much that there are certain things they can't use. Her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing Renee Montoya? They were supposed to get married in the comics. Oh, probably because she's in Birds of Prey, and we can't do that.
That's gonna confuse people.
Exactly.
But there's all these missing pieces that, and my thing is, if you're gonna show me a gritty Batman that's in decay, and all you showing me are the rich people, you need to show me the slums. Like, I didn't see any crime.
There was nothing.
There was
about
nothing.
the city.
Exactly. There was nothing grimy going on in the city to indicate
Well, when
that
you
it was
got
in that decay.
Well, when you got shitty sets, what you supposed to do?
Exactly. And my thing is, you're talking about how the people have lost faith in Batman, but are you showing are the rich people who are being guarded by private security?
Yo, I saw how he rescued Kate. I would lose faith in Batman too. If he just shot some lines and left, and I'm like,
Can we talk about the bat suit and how it looked like it came from Party City?
but I have a problem with he came in Bye. You can save yourself.
But wait. Let's get on to great value Joker or no budget Harley Quinn Alice. Alice brought zero to the table to me.
Nothing.
As a
Because
villain.
Alice is a made-up character.
No,
because
she's in the comics.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Alice is in the
I've
comics.
never seen her in the comics before.
It's a very, very offshoot, but it's not even but trust me.
Is she White Rabbit? Is she Mad Hatter? Is she Magpie? Which one is she not supposed to be? Because they got the right.
It looks like what this Alice is just a boilerplate spinoff of the Mad Hatter, but this Alice is not.
Can't you just
It's not intimidating. It's not scary. That whole fake Joker intro that she did with the camera was.
And we know who she is.
Exactly.
Like I've lost interest already.
This pilot was supposed to hit hard.
Where's the mystery?
There's no. I know everything.
There's no mystery to that.
And
The
when
mystery is, how did they get the budget to film this show?
and when Batwoman saves old girl, and they fall through the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're 2 inches. This bottom of her face, you know who that
You
is.
slobbed on that face for years.
Another thing I never understood was she has all the access codes to the Wayne computers and stuff, but yet she doesn't have access to the Wayne building itself.
Shut up, Ken. You shut up.
Can we go talk about casting real fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about who?
Casting real quick.
Okay.
One of the worst pieces of casting that I've ever seen is Homegirl's husband.
He's so milk-toast.
You talking about
it was so weird that when she was like, "This is my husband," because I was like, "Well, that's clearly a beard." Because the way he walked in, like he straight up walked in with this, "How you doing, slugger? Don't get away from me again," getting all kidnapped in Gotham, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I love the fact that he showed little alarm about the fact that she was kidnapped.
Your wife got kidnapped, and he wasn't distressed.
Just another day in Gotham.
Exactly, like, like what?
And I'm glad you brought that up. And this speaks to CW writing. Why do you have to try to set up a love triangle in the first episode?
Because that's what it's the CW form.
And then it was so fucking unbelievable. Like Kate was so devastated. Like, come on, you know you can steal her back from him.
Exactly.
I can steal her from him. like you know that's not a challenge.
And if the crows were, and the way they made the sound, like the crows were like special elite combat soldiers. Like they were trained to come in and they were trained to beat ass.
What did we see them do this episode?
Absolutely nothing.
Damn.
Not only that, we saw one who betrayed them and nobody batted an eye.
I really wish that there was some pathos behind that, but since we just now seeing these motherfuckers, it's like, okay, I guess he wanted another paycheck.
And there was no like conclusion to that. Cause homegirl saw that he was a traitor, and we didn't get we booked such and such. He'll never betray us. What the fuck? They just left that plot point and bye.
I want to speak to this. So,
Oh, and apparently, Luke Fox can modify a bat costume in like an hour. But yeah, keep going.
I don't think you call that a modification.
So I want to speak to her stepsister and stepmother. First things first, stepmother's going to betray them.
Of course.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. Stepsister is a little annoying, just a little bit. I don't see the chemistry between these two characters, her and her sister.
You mean that's the one who became a doctor, right?
Yeah. Works night shifts.
Oh, but she ends up getting one of the henchmen who spills all the beans on Alice, and I'm like, that's convenient.
Yeah. So overall, I think we can get to the overall part, right?
Okay, yeah.
So overall, this episode tried to cram a lot of information in very little time and make us believe that we can continue watching this season.
And what happened to the Penguin, the Joker? I mean, did every A-class villain from Gotham decide to leave 3 years ago?
Well, I know Magpie and Hush are going to be in there. So you're going to get them.
But Hush only makes sense in the concept of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But they continue to ruin that character.
You get Nora Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
You get
That doesn't count. That doesn't fucking count.
That doesn't even make sense.
I want Mr. Freeze.
you get Nora Freeze. You get Scarecrow Toxin.
No.
You instead of the
Send it back.
Wait.
Take me off the mailing list.
Instead of the Riddler, you get the questionable. So yeah, it sounds like these offshoots. Like, leave it alone.
I think Batwoman is a testament to what I felt probably should happen since last season with practically every DC show except for Black Lightning. I think it's time for the CW to stop.
Stop it.
I think it's time. We're getting to Flash in a moment, but you set up Flash in a way where you could end it this season. Maybe mid-season with Batwoman, go on hiatus and don't come back.
So all in all, I would say I left this episode. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be going in, even though I did kind of come in with open mind. I read some reviews. I came in with open mind. I was trying to catch what some of the reviews were saying. I was like, okay, I don't necessarily agree with those, but I still found some bad things. And pacing, story, plot, everything is just so wonky right now. It only can go up. I'll just say that. It can only go up.
I don't think it's going to go up. I think they showed us what they can do, and this is the best it's going to get. And unfortunately, it was a shitty best.
But we'll see what. Hopefully, we'll see what episode 2 does. But right now, it's not looking too good. Let's move on. How about we break into some Flash action? So the Flash premiered as well, and we have a couple things to say about that one. But I want to kick this one off myself. I love the main villain of this episode, which was bad CG and even poor story writing. You can clearly tell that they're limping towards the crossover with everything that they have. They don't even give a fuck about this season, in all honesty. But I want to hear what you guys think.
Okay, no, me first. You went first last time.
Clockwise.
Whatever. I'm going. Okay, so you mentioned the villain. I don't know the dude's name. I call him Mohinder because
we call him Mohinder.
Yeah.
I like Mohinder as an actor. He is so fucking wasted on this show. And hold on, I'm not done yet. And the funny thing is, I had a weird sensation about this episode of The Flash. Because it was like, oh, we're doing old stuff like Caitlin's gonna fuck the villain like she always used to do.
I thought that too.
And then, I'm not gonna lie to you, hot take, I actually kind of was feeling this episode.
Me too.
Okay, let me tell you why I didn't feel the episode. First of all, Mohinder's backstory was so garbage to me. His mom died from an uncurable disease, and he was mad at her because she made peace with that. And that was his motivation. Wait. It was like, my mom has AIDS, and I'm mad because she died of AIDS. Why did she fight and try to cure it? Wait, what?
So I'm gonna defend that. Don't look at me like that. I'm going to defend that.
Okay.
I can help defend it as well.
The fact that she was a scientist is the reason that specifically specializes in stuff like that is the reason that he was pissed off at her.
Okay.
Because he feels like she should have gone down fighting specifically because she, unlike you, if you had cancer and died, she has the tools to try to make her situation better.
But that's like saying, go ahead.
Also, to piggyback off of that, he is also more so anger for himself too.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Because he has the same disease, and he figured out how to beat it. And so he was like, if she had just held on a little bit longer, we probably could have did this shit together.
Well, here's the deal.
It's more so angry at the world, but he's projecting onto his mother.
And I'm cool with that. In that instance, okay, I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. I'm so sick of this fucking Killer Frost. what does Killer Frost want? What does Caitlyn want? I was like, look, either make her bad or get her off the goddamn show.
Okay, so I thought that was so weird to me where the whole premise is Killer Frost wants a life. And I'm like, didn't we give her a life where she was like running cards or something? Like, she was working at a bar or some shit.
Yeah,
this bitch had a life. She probably got a social security card and shit.
And she was working for Evil Barry at one point.
Exactly. Like, now all of a sudden that's an issue.
and then it finally came out to me why they took away Cisco's powers. And we talked about this before because he was literally the answer to everything.
Yeah.
Because everything in this episode could have been solved by Cisco, in all honesty. And I'm pretty sure the writers don't know how black holes work.
Probably not.
Because if a black hole opens, and let's go with the first instance that it opens. It opens and it's pulling a grown ass man through. But Iris has the power to pull that grown ass man out of the black hole. We're not calling bullshit here.
Shut up. Shut up.
Or my
Not a regular black hole, if a meta-human.
Okay, that's cool. What about how
They treated it like a black hole.
about when it opened in the coffee shop and Caitlyn is flying, but the chairs are still stationary.
It's not a regular black hole, it's a meta-human black hole.
The napkins are still there. The coffee cup ain't moved an inch, but Caitlyn is breezing in the wind. Can somebody explain that one to me?
No, and I'm not going to.
Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead.
So, moving on to stuff that I kind of appreciate about the episode. So, at first I was like, oh no, they're in their feelings again about Nora. Oh,
Like, okay, I know she was real, but she wasn't real.
Here's my answer.
Y'all didn't know her that long.
Here's my response
Been
to
over
that.
2 weeks.
Here's my response to that.
Okay.
Nora was a screw up. She was their little screw up.
I gotta speak on this.
She
one.
was their little special screw up.
Sure, no.
If anything is like, look, we can, and you know what's so fucking stupid, and why I said she wasn't real. Like, they literally, these are not my words. Barry literally said we can make another.
Okay, but let's pick it up from the top. Caitlyn lost her husband and her dad. Cisco lost his brother for real.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even had this child yet. What they meant was an offshoot version of reality that they could possibly have.
Right.
And yet I gotta sit here and watch them piss and moan about that while Cisco is just walking around brotherless.
So here's the thing about that. Was she an offshoot or what? I mean, how does their time travel work?
She clearly screwed up the timeline. Come on. She screwed up
She brought tech from the future to the past. That clearly dilated whatever they had going on there.
She Back to the Future messed this up all the way.
And where the fuck is Wales?
You shut up.
We'll get
We'll get to Wales eventually.
You know they only get a whale in episode 3. You know that. You should know that.
I forgot he was there. I liked Joe's portrayal. First of all,
that was with me too, because like the reason why I kind of like this episode is because I was getting shit that I missed. I missed Caitlyn trying to fuck the villain. I missed Joe like being Joe.
yeah, and because he like the new head, like he was in command. By the way, what was up with his cookout outfit? Homegirl, the DA.
DA Thick.
Yeah, DA Thick. Like she contributed. Even Iris wasn't as annoying. But I'm gonna get to Barry last because I feel like it was something that Barry did that I was like, you go. Everybody else was like, this black dude is gone. We have to kill him to stop him. And Barry was like, fuck no. We don't leave one behind. And he stuck to that. That was a man move. Because any other episode he would have capitulated and then the shit. Are you
Hold on.
I'm
I'm feeling this one. I want to rebut. This is why I hate it, and that moment is why I didn't like this. It does that same Mickey Mouse cookie cutter bullshit where Barry gets his hand held. He never You have to make the hard decision where you have to choose the few over the many. And my thing is, this episode just proved the case where Barry gets to have his cake and eat it too. My whole thing was, they should have been able to kill the dude and be like, fuck it, that's it.
They didn't even know what they were going up against. If Iris had not stopped them and been like, hey, there's a guy inside there.
By the way,
don't do it.
Since when can a blogger go see patients inside of a medical facility?
Shut up.
Look, that blogger is gonna have a Pulitzer Prize in 10 years, according to Joe.
But let's rationalize what had to happen for them to save that one guy. They had to figure out the scientific principles behind black holes.
They was doing that anyway.
They're scientists.
Even now, based on, okay, I don't even want to use current logic because this is fictional. In less than a few hours, they had to figure out not only because by that logic, there's nothing that should have been able to escape that black hole.
The Speed Force.
The speed. that is a MacGuffin. That is a goddamn MacGuffin. You can't use the Speed Force for every answer. When something not even light, time, not even sound can escape, but the Speed Force gives you a protective barrier, like it's the fucking condom to life.
It's comic book.
The Speed Force.
He don't know about Speed Force.
Yeah, the Speed Force literally is a condom around the universe. I'm not even joking. Like, there's a chart and everything.
Here's the thing. They had to first of all figure out what the fuck was going on and where these black holes were coming from. Then when they found the guy and he was catatonic, they had to figure out why.
Oh, and that leap. Oh, the black hole is connected to this guy's brain. She got that from tapping.
She saw it on the TV.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
They showed it on the TV and that was Morse code.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
That was Tic-Tac.
That was Morse. Oh,
If that was Morse code,
Yes.
then why did she say, hey, it's spelling it out in Morse code? Now, if you go back and listen to it, that was not Morse code. That was just random fucking
It was random.
That was random fucking
it was Morse
That
code.
was
Go
not
back
Morse-
and look into it.
Look,
it
was Irish code. All right, I want to move on. You cannot deny.
He also, again, apparently he speaks Spectrum.
You cannot
I know where
deny.
you're going.
You cannot deny when they played.
And that's why I was feeling it.
Flash Gordon.
Okay,
By who? By who?
Okay, first of all, by Queen. By fucking Queen. Alright? Freddie Mercury.
They've been holding that song for 6 years.
Exactly.
They've been holding that song for 60 years. They should have been played that song on
First of all,
something.
we all know they hit towards the cheap seats when they played that song.
And
Okay.
the song told you why they stopped the black hole. He could do the impossible.
But
That's why, kid.
That's why I like the episode. So, yeah, the Mohinder problems and all, this was a decent episode. Let them have it. Next week they can fuck it up like they always do.
and you know what? Well, and
It
you know what?
wasn't a strong opening.
No.
But
all it had to do was be better than Batwoman, and it did.
And you know why? And the ending, and I was like, the ending proved my theory about this whole entire season.
That is countdown to Christ.
It's just
We knew that came out. He was like, there is time. He was like, he has 5 years. Like, no, he doesn't.
Wait, how? And then I looked at him like, how dare you be indignant by the fact you don't have 5 years? You just sat there and cheated with your fucking daughter for an entire season.
Not to mention, 52 times she went and rewrote time in that one episode.
And we not even in the proper timeline because of Flashpoint. Fuck you. You lucky you got 5 hours.
Exactly.
He's like, you take your privilege and shove it up. How dare I not have 5 years? With all the shit you and your team have done, if I was the monitor, I would have just shot him in the face.
But yeah, even after all of that, I like the episode. Let me have it.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Look, there was a lot of problems I had with it. Like I know you said Iris wasn't that annoying. Nah, that bitch was annoying. Like you.
Dibney was annoying.
Oh hell yeah!
I forgot he was in the episode.
I do like they did the whole I'm searching for this Susan Dearborn chick because that's his future wife.
Yeah,
whatever.
That Dr. Light's gonna have his way.
Whatever. Obscure comic references. care about.
So in conclusion, it seems like it's 3 against 1. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can all go fornicate themselves with a stick. All right, let's move on.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Judging from the size of our power bill, that means Black Lightning is back. And the show premiered, and we have a couple of things to say about that.
Let me go first.
Let's kick it.
All right. I don't like those comic openings this season.
What?
Bring the pictures back.
I like
I
that.
agree.
That was beautiful, the way that they panned it out,
animation
and they zoomed in on stuff.
The pictures are better. I agree.
I want my pictures back.
I get it. You want the screen team.
Yeah.
You want the screen team.
Before we get deep on this episode, and trust me, it gets very deep, I just gotta do something superficial. Tobias Wells, oh my God. Ooh, that man looked like he had vitiligo for real. He looked like Uncle Ruckus. I was like, oh man.
Getting older. Age catching up.
For 70 years, I've been trying to fight off.
For 70 years, I've been dropping the N-ball. But on the real talk, though, I have to say this was a solid opening to Black Lightning. Mm-hmm. I believe that it was strong. One thing I love about Black Lightning is the way that how it ties in current events to the episode. And one thing that it showed was like in the very beginning, it was Nissa. No, what was it Nissa? Who was walking through? Yeah, Nissa was walking through the
concentration camp.
That's what it was at that encampment, and which pretty much mirrors the immigration situation with the what is going on at the border with the Hispanic people in cages. And I love the way how Black Lightning correlates that. And they were walking through, and one of the priests was like, "This is ridiculous. Like, this is inhumane." Mm-hmm. And that there were actually people who were supporting this. And then you see all these children and disenfranchised people just in cages like they're animals. And then you see the guy who tries to break in, and this just has to sit there watch this guy die who's trying to free these kids because she can't give herself away, and at the same time give away their plan to help these people.
Yeah.
I also like the parallel to her being Harriet Tubman in the Underground.
Yes.
She's finally Harriet.
Yes.
So I want to say something too, and this I feel is a message as well. You notice the two main faces that were involved regarding this whole concentration camp thing is Odell and Christopher B. Duncan's character.
You talking about Braxton?
Yeah.
Okay, I call him Braxton.
What color are they?
Yes. Yes, and that was another.
They're working for the government because they revealed that the previous ASA guy, they made it seem like he was a rogue operation or whatever. Like, nope, he was doing under orders. And Odell just came in to finish it up.
That's another thing that I love that the show correlates to. That in times of war, that the rights and freedoms that we'll give up in order to feel secure. Yeah. That some of these people were like willing to give up their rights for people to hunt down these metas and get them off the streets because that was the only way they feel safe. Even flashing back to when Jennifer was out in her costume and she was talking to old dude and they were talking about the curfew and they was like, "How do you feel?" And then he was like, "I feel nervous because at any moment they can just pick me off the street and nobody will ever see me." Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that speaks to society, that you got to be careful what you give up because then you end up not being able to fight back for your rights that you do have.
I think the fact that Cyclotronic, or whatever his name is, was a white guy and they did him how he did, I think that speaks to a message as well. Basically saying, when it's done being people of color, it could be y'all too.
No, it started with him as well because he was lower class criminal. Wasn't privileged, and they put him in the military.
But you notice that the first 2 seasons of this series, the main people that was catching it, even when they was metahumans, was black folk.
Yeah.
And now we actually see someone that is in the same situation, and he is white, and they treated him the same way.
And I want to go back to what you're saying about the giving up your laws and stuff, because that was a conversation that Reverend Creflo was having. I guess we got to change his name because he's actually he's good.
Oh no! Every now and then he switch a curveball.
He got meta powers that we don't know yet.
Anyway, but Reverend
Odell gonna come to him and be like, "I can build this church back up."
but the Reverend was telling the reporter lady that you keep talking about laws and laws are not infallible. and laws are just man-made. Like, stop talking about laws as if that they are just, they're God.
Exactly. Like when he brought up the whole thing with Jim Crow, he was like, at one point, Jim Crow was the law of the land. And he was like, you gotta, and that's what people get hung up on sometimes. Like, you gotta, in between on what's the law and what's right. And like I said, the correlation between now and between the show is amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to kick into was, like, knowing who the real enemy is. So the guy who's the head in charge of the ASA. Odell. And the instance I'm talking about is particularly with that kid, Issa.
So I did want to say something about that too.
But wait, hold on 1 second. When he gets to Issa, and that moment when he's talking to Issa, he's like, I have to kill you because you don't know how powerful the truth is. And I was like, that speaks volumes in itself. He's like, his power is so basic. It's just, you can't lie to me. And the fact that he was that big of a problem that he had to be taken out was amazing.
So I feel like that was a misstep for me because, so here's the thing. What they're framing as far as the plot is we gotta be ready to go up against the Markovians. Like, he spoke of the Markovians as like
the boogeyman.
Yeah, as the boogeyman or whatever. And okay, whatever. So I guess they were pulling these metahumans off the street because I guess they're trying to use them.
So here's the thing.
Because
Odell is not telling the truth to everybody.
No.
So when he's talking to Jefferson and Lynn, and he's talking to Issa, he's talking to Tobiah, whoever, no one's getting the full story.
The biggest thing right now that's going on is they're trying to shelve the most weapons. Right now they're trying
so and that's what they're trying to get the most weapons, right?
That's what Makovia and what the ASA are doing.
Okay, so I feel like you killing one of your most powerful weapons just because you feel like he would be a threat to you is a misstep to me, specifically because he was actually doing what you wanted him to do.
But at any point he got out and he was used against them, that would bring everything down.
And that brings back to a criticism I had last season. Like, so my thing is, you were telling me about how when they were, what was her name, Windfall? How they were treating her in the facility and whatnot, and basically he was going to get the results he wanted by treating her the way he did. And I feel like, no, you're not. You're just going to wear them out sooner. I feel like this comes back to what I was saying regarding that.
That the government agent doesn't know how to use his actual assets.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I feel like if you're trying to go up against the Markovians, like, don't throw away your assets trying to build this perfect weapon.
And that's the thing. We don't even actually know if they actually are trying to go up against Markovians. Like I said, you have to take everything they say with a grain of sand. They just did military, what do you call it when you come into someone's
a coup.
Well, not a coup. When you come in domain.
I know what you.
Yeah,
martial
law, eminent domain, all of that. They came into this town, took over, and said there's a threat out there, and we need to assess the situation using this as the base.
Like, even think about what they did with the police precinct. When they, by the way, just a sidestep from the series, where Henderson got his ass whooped. First of all,
it was light skin on light skin violence, and then he got
waffle. It was waffle on waffle. So it was hilarious because first of all, if I was Henderson, I would fire everybody in the precinct.
Exactly. Because if I'm holding out their guns, don't do shit. Exactly. Now y'all not shooting black folks, and one just sat up there and choked me out like that.
If I were the police chief and 3 people is whooping my ass, and you don't run in there and start, it's 20 y'all in the building.
Exactly.
That should have been a fight on site, but they gonna wait till they come out and one don't even smirk. Hell to the no. But get back to a serious point. They came and overthrew the police, and Henderson's like, no, I know what you guys are actually doing. And then they eventually forced him into being their lackey.
Right.
It's like, and then when what got me was, and another instance that got me was like when they went to do the word on the street, and they were interviewing people on the street, and one thing it pointed out to me is like what we as black people do is that we'll turn on people who are helping us it seems like in a heartbeat. Like Black Lightning was missing for like 30 days. And the census from the community was, where is he? We're worried about him. It was his fault. Well, he dead, and who cares? It's Blackbird out here. And I was like, wait a second, this is the person who's on the line.
Exactly.
But if it was any other situation, you probably forgive another person for. You see what I'm saying? But the fact that we'll throw away the people who are actually fighting on behalf of us, it's just sickening in a way.
And that speaks to when Blackbird, aka Thunder, aka Harriet, was taking the parents through the woods to get through the gate, and you had that one dude.
The same dude.
It was the same dude?
Yeah, it was the same dude. I'm like,
this could be a trap.
Shit.
Why we trusting her?
And you know
why
what?
we got to do this?
And that was a true Harriet Tubman moment too, because even with the stories with Harriet Tubman, if there was that one wayward motherfucker
who was about to get everybody caught,
about to get everybody caught, she pulled that shotgun and it was like, look, either you gonna fall here or you gonna keep. She pulled the gun out. Like, I have to drop you right here if I have to, because I will not allow you to endanger the rest of us. This motherfucker sitting up here, trying to get in the process about get everybody else caught. Why? Because he's scared. Then why did he come along in the first place?
Yep.
I got a minor criticism. It's super fucking minor. Black Lightning kind of slipped into that typical CW bullshit where fucking Anissa now has a nice ass loft apartment, and what's her job?
Well, no. Remember, she's been robbing from the 100 because when she went in that room, it was stockpiles of money.
Oh, I didn't see that money.
So she's still doing that.
well, the 100 is not really.
Well, not no more, but before they left, she had got them for a good grade.
So I would like to throw out a
she
criticism.
gave all that to the church.
She
though.
gave students.
She gave enough of it to the church.
I would like to throw out a criticism
The
myself.
church said they needed 100 grand. That's what they got.
So I would like to throw out a criticism myself, since we talking about Anissa and her apartment. I came to watch Black Lightning for political commentary, not this blatant fan service. Damn it.
Are you talking about that heavenly seat cushion that she carried? Oh my God! When I saw that, I was like, "Oh!"
I didn't think they were going to
In
do
the
that.
panties? Yes, I saw that. And I was like, how dare you?
And then she turned around, looked in the mirror. I was like, I was like, wait a second. I went and closed my door. I was like, I gotta watch this alone.
I was like, this is a prank. Who's pranking me right now?
Call the mirror protocol.
And then when she was kissing up her old girl, and I was like, are we going there? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? I'll put it like this. I was more happy for this one than I was with. Never mind.
I know what you meant.
Never mind.
And I was too.
So, one last thing. We starting to see an evolution in Jeff's powers. Man can see through walls. Which is a Black Lightning thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
he can see currents in telephone.
Let me know when he starts turning into electricity. I'm waiting for that point.
I think Jen gonna do that first, because now she's like, it hurts when I use my powers.
When she don't
use them. She getting like, to make an X-Men reference, Proteus. Like, I don't think her body can contain her abilities.
So I'm glad you said X-Men, because there was a lot of X-Men references.
Yeah.
The collars.
Yeah. Detention camp.
The image inducers.
Days of Future Past all up in there.
Yeah, like they read the fuck out of that book.
But another question I have to pose is, why was he so concerned with Tobias?
Was he?
Yeah,
Tobias.
When he was talking with Lynn, he was like, she was like, you seen Tobias? Like, yeah, he's in real bad. But it sounded like concern in his voice that he was in bad shape. It wasn't like, that motherfucker about to die. Hey, what a party at?
Well, he was just letting her know what the conditions are there.
But
because if Tobias is down there dying, then he saw Issa too. It's like Issa could be in trouble too.
But the fact, and that's another thing that I got an issue with, is Lynn's gullibility. That she believed that, and the evidence is right there in front of her because she's about to do an autopsy on his body. But the fact that she believed that the Markovians got a hold of him, did X, Y, and Z, and then just shipped them back.
Did she though?
She's not doing an autopsy.
She just saw the body.
She just saw the body.
Yeah, but the fact that she believes that the Markovians did all that and then
Does she
gave
believe
him back.
But didn't Jeff tell her that he saw Issa?
Yeah.
So
I
then
don't think-
she didn't believe
I don't
him.
think
She looked like she believed him.
No, she-
I mean,
she was just
considering where they are, I would think she would have to.
Okay.
Because they can't leave the facility yet.
She
That was
has
some good-ass
to,
acting.
yeah, she has to convince him that she believes him.
Okay.
Because otherwise, he would know that they can see through walls.
So you've been seeing me in my study, huh?
he walking up on them in their room.
Exactly.
You know you watch it
It wasn't like he was at the door. He was literally sitting in a chair.
Like he had a cup of
like-
coffee and everything.
Exactly. Like, how the fuck was y'all doing all that?
Like, how long you been there? And I swore his answer was like 22 long years.
Lynn and Jefferson were legitimately disgusting. Like, Jefferson was like, I got hard dick right now. And it's supposed to be the only one in this room. Why are there two hard dicks in this room right now?
I want to go home.
He's in there staring too, like, you done fucked up.
One last thing. Cinematography and fight scenes were on point.
Yeah, they were. We could actually see the fight in the dark.
Mhm.
That was
And
amazing.
the scene with Issa and Odell where he came in, he was like, "Are you gonna kill me?" And the shot was like, he walks over and then he holds up his hand and his hand is off screen because you thinking, "Oh, there's a gun," and then he's like, "I already did." Like that, y'all got me with that one. That was good.
My favorite cinematographic shot was Nissa.
Yeah, in the room. Yeah, I know. That was the best part.
Yeah,
The fan service-
that loft looked awesome. That loft looked
What
amazing.
law? So that was our take on Black Lightning. As you can see, that it was one of the standouts for this week, and hopefully the season will progress with even greater episodes.
Lala's alive.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I just throw
The
that.
tattoo, man.
Just throwing that back
He
in
keeps
there.
coming back like.
I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm just happy to see him. Like I'm expecting him to do something.
You were just stating a fact that happened in the
tagline.
show.
Like
Lala is back.
Like thank you for seeing our episode review. Lala's back.
Thank you guys for joining us for Justice Review. Of course, we'll have different selections every week, but we like to keep you guys abreast of what's going on out there. Like and subscribe. We'll have plenty more showings, but until next time. Oh, but before we do that, we'd like to give a shout out for our Patreon. We're doing a Patreon where there's those shows like Titans and Cloak and Dagger and all these other Young Justice, the shows that people can't get access to and kind of want a review of it. And if you guys donate to our Patreon, we will gladly give you the heads up and the info on those shows too.
Maybe we'll throw some movies in there.
Like and subscribe, but until next time, peace.